Hey, Bougie Gang, what's going on? Hey, everybody. What's going on, everyone? Y'all, yes. Fran, oh my God, what are you doing up so late? I'm up. Look, this is the we got to do what we got to do summer schedule. And baby, we got to get it in where we can fit in, okay? We got to get it in where we can fit in because if you guys are following, you guys know that we got to do what we got to do, okay? And we trying to stay up to date and current. So, okay, let's talk about this real quick. Hey everybody, let me just say that first and foremost. Let me just make sure hey everybody. Okay, you guys can hear me. That first and foremost. Let me just make sure. Okay, sound is sounding. Okay. Let's see who got here. Let's handle this business first. Number one, Miss T, Caden Sugar Mama, and Nesto's Handy Girl. 1, 2, 3 first. Okay, Keonce is celebrating 29 months of supporting. Okay, thank you so much, Keonce. And Bougie Gang is here. Okay, we are here. And we need to get caught up on this news. Now, let me tell you something. If you were in members this morning, we were talking and I said I was through with this story until something happened. Did I not? I was like, I am done with this story. I cannot with this story until this lady gets arrested or something happens. And baby, ma'am had already been arrested, girl. Ma'am had been arrested. Okay. Okay, Miss Alicia, baby, she is wanted for questioning in Maryland. And yes, are you guys telling me you didn't know? Ma'am got arrested. Hold on a second. No, not girl, please. You know what? Because that woman has people in the bushes. Trust me, I'm not paranoid on this. That lady has people in the bushes. We got to keep it very cute and let them just run up on her like they ran up on Alicia. Okay. Let her be ran up on like they ran up on Alicia over there. Girl, where'd they run up on her? Hart County, girl, Hunt, somewhere in Georgia. They done ran up on her. Girl, hold on. Let me pull it up. Baby, ma'am got arrested, girl. Hold on. She is on her way. She gonna take that nice inmate transportation bus. They gonna have her on the good inmate transportation back to Maryland. Okay, y'all didn't know? You know it's bad when the newscasters say this situation is extremely messy. Okay, hold on. I'm glad because I'm tired. I don't want to even talk about like the whole domestic violence thing. This lady did it to herself. And look, what's done in the dark needs to come out anyway. What's done in the dark will always come to the light. And if she has brought hurt or harm to one of her children, it needed to come out, her crazy behind. So at the end of the day, she has questions to answer in Maryland. Okay. And they want to talk to her. Let me see if I can find just the picture. Hold on. Image file. Okay. Let's see. I feel like I caught. Hold on. I thought I did a screenshot of it. Baby. Her mugshot is a whole mess. Let's see. Oh, it might be on OneDrive. Hold on. There it goes. Y'all, it's like all the places to have to look for everything. Oh, it's not. It's here, but it's not here. Okay. It's fine. You guys can see what's on the screen. Let's get into it. But yeah, ma'am has been arrested. So apparently, all of what's going on right now, I guess basically either her baby daddy, I don't know if that's her ex-husband or not, but the gentleman who she's got a kid with, I think kind of rang the alarm, and Maryland law enforcement wants her for questioning, and they put out a bolo. The bolo went to Fulton County. Fulton County had a bolo out on her. She was out and about somewhere, and girl, they arrested her with two of the kids. I guess the boy and the little girl, and the daughter that is the child of Tigga. This is going to be a mess. Tigga will end up with custody of this kid. If this lady is, who else is going to have custody of the kid? I mean, he's basically out on bond, but I would imagine he could go get his child. She's arrested, right? So who's going to go get the kid? And then the little boy is going to have to go with whoever else, right? This lady is, her life is in shambles right now. Her life is literally in shambles. And if you notice right here, you can see the scars on her face.
We are covering the unfolding saga, Eric, and now has turned into a bit more of a legal saga that we are seeing with Big Tigger, his estranged wife. I understand she has been arrested on some pretty serious charges.
Yeah, it's a never-ending story, it feels like. So this is completely separate from the domestic abuse charges that her estranged husband, Big Tigger, faces. This is her on her own, Alicia Brown. So on the 7th, which was yesterday, she was arrested. This is her mother.
I'm sorry.
She was around mile marker 177 on Interstate 85 when a deputy there at their sheriff's department saw her car, and they had a bolo, be on the lookout for. And she was in a Range Rover, a black Range Rover. They pulled her over with the license plate matching. Here's a little bit from that arrest warrant, the incident report here that we were able to get our hands on here. At the time, she had, from Fulton County Sheriff's Office, there was a warrant there for her arrest in relation to that. Within the past 10 minutes, our assignment desk and our digital team, James.
Y'all, you gotta bear with me because I'm working with one screen tonight. Let me just say this. How much do you want to bet Big Tigga is over there like, look, who do you think actually called and dropped a dime on her? Do you think this is like on some War of the Roses now, where they have just turned on each other and he's just like, yo, go pick her up. She's foul. I don't know what happened to the little girl. She's had excuses. She's the mother of my daughter. Now I'm afraid for my daughter. She could try to run. She's already ran with one man's kid and we don't even know where she is. Now she's got my daughter. Baby, this is a whole freaking Tubi movie, okay? This is a mess. I would not be surprised if the baby daddy obviously called and said, have you guys been watching the news? She's down in Atlanta acting a fool. Or second option is Tigga is like, well, she's not clean. She ain't clean. Go check in. She's wanted for questioning in Maryland. Go check that out.
She has talked with the Fulton County Clerk's Office, who have said since that arrest yesterday, those warrants here in Fulton County have been dismissed. Now, there is still another warrant, which is kidnapping charges. This is coming out of Baltimore County, Maryland. We have not been able to get those arrest warrants, they say, until she's extradited back and has a first appearance in court up there. But she did have a first appearance this morning. Again, this is all related to around a daughter, a child, where there seems to be just some custody issues with. I talked with a lawyer one-on-one earlier today just to break down these charges. So keep in mind, we're not, the traditional sense of when you hear kidnapping, maybe force. That is not the kidnapping we're necessarily thinking of in this particular case. But when it comes to children in custody, if she is not the legal guardian, if she doesn't have any rights and she has or knows of something or takes or places a child somewhere else, then that is where this all comes in. And a lot of this we believe is unfolding since that first incident, again, not related to this, but the public, the notoriety, and just the social media of it all, we believe maybe the child's father might have come forward to police up there in Baltimore County. Take a listen to just some of the questions that I was able to ask a defense attorney here, really good criminal attorney.
It could have come from the child's father. Maybe he reignited the issue because he was the one that initially was awarded custody from a family law dispute. Now, do I think it's kidnapping in the sense when most people traditionally think of kidnapping? No. But the law does encompass that if you do not have full legal rights and you take your child, that is kidnapping. There is a felony interference with custody here in Georgia as well. So they've taken out a warrant here as well as the kidnapping warrant in Maryland as well. So she's got 2 cases that she has to face. So once she's either granted bond on the case in Maryland, she's going to have to return to Georgia and address those felony charges of interference with custody.
Yes. Let me say this. If this woman knows where this child is and the child is living and breathing, hopefully, then she better pony up that information and let that child have a relationship with her father. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that since 2019, that she has allegedly stashed this kid away somewhere with someone, or maybe harm could have come to this kid. We don't know. But since 2019, where is this kid? Who's got the kid? And I'm sorry, in 2026, it is not out of the realm of possibility, because we've just, we see what's happening every single day. There are children that are in danger. And baby, I'm not going to go too far with it, but anyone's imagination can go where it needs to go. We know what happens out here. And unfortunately, it's just a time and a place in this world today where parents are not above doing hurt and harm to their children, either because they are suffering from some sort of uncontrolled mental illness, untreated, undiagnosed, or whatever, ignored, extreme narcissism, which could include being selfish and not wanting the child or children to have relationships with the other parents. I mean, just a whole bunch of stuff. So we don't know what's going on here, but this lady has been acting a complete fool and has been with the shits, her and her husband, her current husband, and has shined a light on herself and her man to where, yeah, they came to get you. They came to get you. And she is now being extradited back to Maryland to answer questions. And rightfully so, because at the end of the day, where is this kid who was 10 and is now potentially 17 years old? And why hasn't this kid came from out the bushes to say, here I am? I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe something happened. Look at what happened in South Carolina with the little 4-year-old last week, which we're going to get caught up on that too. There's a lot going on out here. Thank you so much, Miss Lady. I appreciate you, hun. Let me drop some coins. This is a mess, y'all. All right, let's get back to the story. But ma'am got arrested, and look, what happened needed to happen because this child needs to be found and that man needs to know where his child is. So her acting a fool with Tigger, this lady has so many things going on. She's getting sued by her husband's coworker. The man is having to sit out of work. We don't know what their finances are. Her marriage is probably on the rocks. She got a missing kid. She got another kid videotaping while she's tussling with her husband. They're posting everything to the internet. She got all kinds of scratches on her face. I mean, we don't know what is going on with this lady. She probably has her brainwashed. She probably has brainwashed that child and she's afraid to reach out. Listen, with everything that's going on, if your sister, let's just say, brainwashed, okay? Let's just say your sister said, do you mind if Boo Boo comes to live with you? Hey babe, you know what? Me and baby daddy from Maryland aren't together anymore. Do you mind if Boo Boo comes to live with you? I'm gonna keep my son. Do you mind keeping my daughter? I'm going to run off and be with the guy from Rap City. Okay. I'm going to go and get with the guy from damn 106 in Park. Okay. And do you mind can you just go ahead and raise her as your own and just don't ever mention me again? Who 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 has the girl? What relative has this young lady who is now 17 and from 10 years old? 10 years old, you can remember. She has Dateline eyes. 10-year-olds can remember. So someone has to be helping her that is seeing all of this unfold and knows good and damn well that that child needs to get back to Maryland. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. Those eyes are looking like I'm busted, and I hate it. We're going to wait to hear the outcome, but I don't think it's going to be anything good. I'm going to be honest with you. She looks, in my opinion, ma'am looks certified disturbed, and her eyes are giving me it's just a matter of time. And I don't know what her husband knew or didn't know, but I think it's getting ready to, it's something bad may have happened to that little girl.
Applicable or applicable to what we're talking about anymore, but I did dismiss
those felony either granted in Maryland as well. So she's got 2 cases that she has to face. So once she's either granted bond on the case in Maryland, she's going to have.
Wait, let's go back a little bit.
There is a felony interference with custody here in Georgia as well. So they've taken out a warrant here as well as the kidnapping warrant in Maryland as well. So she's got 2 cases that she has to face. So once she's either granted bond on the case in Maryland, she's going to have to return to Georgia and address those felony charges of interference with custody.
We've done that interview. It sounds like whatever happened in Fulton County, those warrants, that has been either dismissed or that is not applicable or applicable to what we're talking about anymore. But I did talk with Baltimore County Police. She will be extradited back to Baltimore. That could take place within the next 30 days. It just kind of depends there, but she did have her first appearance. But to put it plainly, if I was going to write a simple line, this is really just a messy situation, right?
He said this is just messy.
With what we saw earlier when it came to Big Tigger, but now she has her own issues that are coming about. And the lawyer was saying, I asked, will any of these kind of overlap? Will Big Tigger's legal team come forward and maybe use some of this against her?
Absolutely.
Well, could be the case, even though they are 2 separate ones. His legal team could.
This is what I think. After everything that has happened, this man's job is on the line. Baby, they're going to absolutely use this. They're going to label her as absolutely crazy. He's going to get emergency custody because the mom is now being extradited to Maryland. Obviously, she's innocent until proven guilty, but you have a minor child. He's innocent until proven guilty also. The children were put into her custody, including the child that she has with him, right? So, of course, he's going to go get his baby. So now he's going to have custody of his daughter. And I'm sure he's probably going to, unless he's trying to get back with her, which this is the opportune time for him to go ahead and put in some sort of legal separation if that's what he chooses to do. Because, I mean, if he's trying to save himself, he better save himself because this lady is very toxic and she's the type of person who's going to have him out here unemployed and run through all of his money because he's going to have to, he's going to have to either secure her lawyers all of those things. If he wants to distance himself from this woman, it's probably now, I don't want to say or never, but now is just as good a time as any, because ma'am is on her way to answer questions in Maryland, some very serious questions about custody and all of these things. So now is the perfect time for him to get physical custody of that child. And I guess whatever happens with the boy, oh, I'm sure DFAX has to be involved, because he has a cruelty to children charge. But I think the cruelty to children was the fact that some of this went down in front of a minor. So I don't know that he was specifically doing something to the kids, but because there was a situation with the parents in the company of the children, he got that charge. I don't know. I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but I would imagine that with her being in custody right now, that someone's got to go collect those kids. Let's see.
Show, this is what she has a history of or something like that. So it can be used against her in a certain way. And then obviously a lot of the social media posts that we've been seeing, unfortunately, he calls Facebook and Instagram the FBI, because it's just so much information that's out there. And now we're just seeing a lot of what you're putting online will be used when it comes to a court of law.
It's, don't let the Facebook and Instagram sleuths, the TikTok FBI get to it of it all. Eric, I appreciate you breaking it down so thoroughly, because we have seen so much back and forth online, and it's really important to focus on what is confirmed and what we do know. And unfortunately, this situation is messy, like you mentioned, and it's embroiled not just him and his estranged wife, but also a co-host, right? And it's to the point where
and children, because they share a child together. She has another child. There were two. I believe there were two kids, and I'm so old. I have glasses now.
As you should.
There were two kids in the car at the time of the arrest that are also entangled in this, as well as a third child that we're talking about, who we believe might be 17 years old. So
always one thing when it's adults, but quite another when children are involved.
Exactly.
Eric, thank you for your reporting. I appreciate your heart.
Okay, so ma'am, they're going to just ask her straight up, where's your daughter? Where is she? Her mugshot is unattractive. There are some people who do take glamorous mugshots, but yeah, clearly she's not one of them. Let's go over here. So we know that, let's see. Sir, I think, took some sort of leave of absence. For as long as I've been in this industry, my focus has always been to keep the spotlight on the culture and the incredible people I get to interview. But right now, my personal life is in the public eye and has become the subject of overwhelming speculation and misinformation, thanks to your wife and you. But she brought this to the internet. Through all of this, what hurts the most is being away from my son. Oh, so does she have two sons? Nothing is more important to me than being a great father. So I've decided to step away from the mic for a while to focus on my family and give my legal team the room they need. As I previously said, I unequivocally deny every allegation, and I'm looking forward to clearing my name. Thank you so much for all the love and support. And as long as I've been in this industry. Okay, so basically it's just a same copy and paste over here. Okay. I think, look, this situation is a distraction. Is this his co-host right here? Did she say get me off? Okay, yeah. This lady right here. Don't tag me. So this is the lady that's suing his wife, Miss Francesca Amaker. I would be like, could you please, first of all, Francesca needs to go into her settings and not allow him to post, like, don't even tag me on anything, sir. Do not even have me on your page. Don't tag me. Whatever it was with this woman set his wife off because she started with the foolishness, and the lawsuit that Francesca has filed illustrates the allegations basically of fake and kind of different Instagram handles, all kinds of posts, things to cast basically allegations that she was having an affair with this woman's husband, with Alicia's husband, which is this man right here, Big Tigger. Girl, we don't really know what was going on. They never really, in the lawsuit, I really didn't hear anything saying that they had a relationship once upon a time or whatever kind of, other than the fact that they worked together. So it was really just focused on the fact that she is the wife of her coworker and she is over here on the internet making false allegations and under different identities trying to plant negative stories about her. So she filed the defamation lawsuit. To me, obviously it has created a hostile work environment. So I wouldn't be surprised if they asked him to move aside or take a break. I don't know. He says that it sounds like he's taking a break on his own, but to me, you have a brand new employee, you have someone who has signed a recent contract, and your wife is over here harassing this woman on company social media. You guys are involved in a whole domestic violence situation. They may have just said either you take a break or we give you a break. Like, you choose how you want to do this, but it's a distraction, and we've gotten HR complaints. If she's suing this guy, HR is fully aware of what's going on, and he probably had the space and opportunity to make his own decision. But if he didn't make the decision, he probably would have, the decision might have been made for him. But we'll see. We will see how it goes. His wife sounds absolutely nuts. Now, was he justified? Let me see if I can find those videos that they posted, because people have been parroting these videos. Excuse me, guys. Which, it's not funny. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find these videos real quick on Instagram. If I can't, we'll just skip it for right now. But there's Miss Ma'am. Okay. Did they take the video? Let me see. Have y'all, I'm sure y'all have seen these videos. Hold on. This is loud. Let me see.
Give me back my phone.
Get off of me.
Give me back my phone. You don't need it. What do you need it for?
Get off of me.
What do you need it for?
Get off of me. Please get off of
As
me.
soon as you give me my phone.
Please get off
It's
of me.
my phone.
Please get off of me.
Registered in my name.
Please get off of me.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my earring in my ear.
Oh, sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
Please get off of
You
me.
can stay right on the floor.
You're a fucking man.
I'm not manhandling. Give me back my phone.
Get off of
Give
me.
me back my phone.
Get off of
Give me
me.
my phone.
Tigger,
Give
get
me
off.
my phone.
Do you not see all them crime?
Give me
Bro,
my phone.
why did you
Stop.
do
I'm
that?
not doing that.
Yes,
She
you did. You
dropped.
did.
She dropped. She dropped.
Bro, you're literally stepping on her.
I'm not stepping on her, Alex. I just want
Bro.
my phone. She could give me the phone and it'd be over. She could give me the phone and it would be over.
Bro, just get over her. She's gonna
I'm
give
not
you.
on her at all.
Why is there all that shit on the floor in the house? Wait a second. Do you guys see what I see in the comments? Mr. Dennis Byron. Mr. Dennis Byron tagged Fulton County DA. Please dismiss these charges. It's clear this man is not assaulting her. Okay. I wonder who manages the Fulton County DA page. We're going to have to go over there in a second. Hold on.
My phone.
Get off of me,
This is my phone.
Why is all the Fashion Nova? What did Fashion Nova look? Yes. Fashion Nova. What in the Fashion Nova is all of that stuff doing on the floor? The Target bag. What's going on here?
This is my phone.
Bro, just get off her. You can buy a new phone. Mr. Tigger! Mr. Tigger, get off of her now!
My phone.
Tigger,
Give
get
me
off.
my phone.
Do you not see all them crotch?
Give me
Bro,
my phone.
why did you
Stop.
do
I'm
that?
not doing that.
Yes,
She
you did. You
drunk.
did.
She drunk.
This man's life is in shambles over here. Hold on. What's okay? Is this Miss Fonnie's page? Okay. This is okay. I guess if you okay, well, boom. Okay. Why not, right? Okay. A mess. A mess and extremely messy, like it was said. Okay. We're keeping an eye on this, but at the end of the day, the real news here is that ma'am was arrested and she is wanted in Maryland for questioning. Okay. She is wanted in Maryland for questioning regarding a child who is now almost about 17. And hopefully she's got some answers. That's I don't know what the state of her marriage is with the man. I guess they'll get that sorted out. The most important thing is this missing child. Once they get that sorted out, then they will work out this domestic situation and any of the other children and all of the things that are going on. But this lady has, she's going to have some time to think about some things and handle some business before she has to come back to Fulton County and handle, hold on a second, this business over here, this man. Okay. Before she got to go back and handle this business, baby, her husband, but she might be coming back to a divorce. I don't know. To me, this marriage is very much, I would say, beyond repair. These two seem like a very toxic duo. As someone who's been married for over a dozen years, I'm going to say this looks like some foolishness, and I don't know that this marriage is going to survive, but if it does, maybe this is what, we all look, not that everybody should know or knows people who engage like this, but there are toxic couples who enjoy this type of tussling, fighting, interacting, investigating each other, foolishness. And, this type of a couple does exist. So I don't know if they're going to make it. I would think common sense, somebody would be running to go file, okay, separation papers and try to work on a divorce, because this is going to end. This is not going to end well. It's already resulting in police reports. And once you start getting into police reports and cases, it can end up very tragic. So hopefully they'll sort this out and maybe just go their separate ways, because this is not a good situation. This is what happened. If I can find her picture, she said, she put up an Instagram post. If you go back, we did a story on this like maybe a week ago, where her pictures, she posted herself on her Instagram, fresh out of the hospital or whatever happened to her. She had stitches over her eyes and she said, "Ask my husband what happened." So people went and asked her husband what happened. And from there, all of this has ensued. So did he clock her in her eye? I don't know. There is some video of some Ring camera footage from inside the house that a lot of this kind of whatever they had going on, him trying to get his phone from her, was revolving around this woman, Francesca, starting over at the job. And it's like she lost her shit when Francesca started. That's why Francesca is suing her. Francesca says that she has been planting false stories and stories to make it seem like she's having an affair with Tigga. And they've traced it back and they feel like they know it's her. The allegations is that it's Big Tigga's wife planting these stories all over Instagram, on V103 social media, to make her look bad and make her look like she is like a home wrecker. And now that woman is suing Tigga's wife. The wife, Alicia, was trying to get the phone from Tigga. I don't know if he's got messages, he's got something in his phone, or just whatever. He doesn't want his wife to have his phone for whatever reason. She's trying to get the phone. It's just a mess. So she stated, she got on Instagram and said, ask my husband what happened to my face or why my face looks like this. And then that basically happened. He says he categorically denies hitting her or doing anything to her that would have resulted in her face looking like that. I don't really know. Like, to be honest with you. Now, on some of that video, it looks like I guess she may have fallen into a door or something. I don't know. These two, the fact that they are fighting over a phone like that is absolutely crazy. Let's picture right here, because here's a look at the family. So is this the little boy that was saying, Mr. Tigga, Mr. Tigga? Okay, so that might be his baby with her. So he's got a son with her. That's the other daughter that she named after the daughter that's missing. So that's the little boy, Alex. Process of elimination. When he said, Alex, I'm not doing anything. That must be the little girl that she had soon after the other child went missing. And then this is the boy. I would imagine this is the boy right here at that time. Look at people. Look at the comments. My algorithm is messy. Look at Jamal Bryant. No, Jamal Bryant said, "Mi familia." Big Tigga says, "Pastor." And then somebody says, "Where's the missing child?" Okay. Okay. Thank you for asking. Where's the missing child? That's the most, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the other children are safe, the most important question right now is where her daughter at, though? Okay. Why did this randomly pop up today? IG is horrible. Anyways, wishing Tigga the best. Look at Dr. Jackie, married to medicine, over here talking about Happy Mother's Day. Okay. Anywho, Where it's like, where is the other baby? Where's the other daughter? Happy Mother's Day. Where's the other daughter? Nobody told you there was a stop sign ahead. Uh-oh. She looks different all the time. Like in all of these pictures, she looks different every time. Okay. All right. Well, ma'am, on your bus ride back to Maryland, you need to be thinking about how you are going to address the issue of where's the missing child. That's what really needs to come out. I wonder if this is the picture that's been there, or did he update that of him sitting alone? It says father. Did it used to say husband? It just says father now. This was his announcement.
Privileged to be here this morning, back at work.
So this was on June 12th. I guess he had taken some time off after or just the days in between him getting arrested and going back to work.
Over the past several days, there's been significant public discussion and speculation regarding my personal life. I understand this can happen being a public person. I've been doing radio now 32 years and television for 29. I appreciate first and foremost the support and concern that so many people have shown. I want to say categorically, these allegations and accusations that have been circulating about me are false, untrue, not happening, didn't happen. Additionally, it's important to clarify that Francesca and I have never been anything more than friends and respected colleagues. I'd like to apologize to you, Francesca, for the impact of these last few days or this last week. I hope you accept my apology.
No.
Out of respect for everyone involved, I ask for grace, privacy, and restraint as my family navigates this difficult moment. For more than 30 years, I've had the privilege of serving this in many communities through music, entertainment, and connection. I remain grateful for the trust so many of you have placed in me throughout that journey, and I intend to continue living and leading in that manner worthy of that trust. And to all the people who have either quietly or loudly stood up and stood 10 toes for me, I appreciate it. For the people who have reached out to check on me, I appreciate you. No name dropping necessary. You know who you are. Good morning, Atlanta. I'm extremely privileged.
Okay. When Miss Alicia gets to Maryland, I think they said she had a first appearance already. Obviously it had to have been on Zoom. Let me see. Let me just do a quick search and see if there's anything about her first appearance. I don't know if it would have been in the county where she was arrested or they zoomed her into Maryland. Let's see. Well, we'll find that. Let me see. Alicia Brown. This is this her page? Let's see. So this is the missing poster of the daughter that's missing. She's been missing since May of 2019. That's the father.
We wanted to bring Jarrell Williams on, as we've been talking about him all day, Joe Claire. He is the father of Aaliyah Brown, who of course has been missing for the last 7 years. What happened when you got the call last night? Because of course you weren't expecting it. You got a call from the detective. And what did they say to you?
When I got the call, he just basically told me that they had her in custody.
Wow.
And you got a phone call because they had her in custody because of your case, correct?
Yes.
Alicia Brown was taken in on outstanding kidnapping related warrants out of Maryland and by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office on felony charges of interference with child custody. Was Aaliyah Brown in the car with Alicia when she was arrested last night?
So they haven't located Aaliyah yet. They're still, searching and doing the investigation there.
Do you have confidence that Aaliyah physically is okay?
No, she's alive. She's definitely alive. I can confirm that. I've always known that. I've always known pretty much what was going on. To be honest with you, I hated it had to be who they have in custody because that's still her mom. And, all of this was for nothing. All of this was for absolutely nothing.
Wow.
I just want to take the time and thank everybody that ever, over this 7-year process, shared the hashtag, to find Aaliyah Brown. Anything that you posted about my daughter, it's real.
So if he knows that she's alive with full confidence, then somebody in her family has this kid and is raising this child. But wouldn't, like, a 17-year-old is going to start asking, like, well, where's my mom? When can I go see my dad? 10-year-olds don't just forget who they are and where they came from. I mean, it's one thing, maybe 4 or 5, maybe even 6, but 10? Come on. What 10-year-old doesn't remember, like, when can I go back and see my dad? Why haven't I been able to go see my dad? Why can't I live with my mom and my brother? Because even if she didn't know the sister, and obviously she wouldn't know her little brother now, like, why is she off somewhere with somebody else? That's just weird. And whoever is harboring this child is going to be a felon too. If you've had custody of this child outside of an agreement with the actual legal parents, and you took possession of a child from the non-custodial parent, so you stashed a kid from you got possession of this child from the non-custodial parent and you withheld this child from the custodial parent, you're going to jail too. There's nowhere that you should not know, even today, to come forward to say, well, she's been living with me. My sister wanted me to take custody of her for whatever reason and blah, blah, blah. Like, whoever's got this kid should be coming forward at this moment. And why hasn't this kid came forward to say, I'm right here? I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what happens, because maybe he just doesn't want to believe something bad happened to his kid, but it just, where?
Really because of you all that I'm at this point.
What do you want your daughter to know when she hears this?
I just hope you understand that no matter who this was, they would have treated this.
But Sexy RM, they said that he had just won custody. So if she was in foster care, I don't know why she was in foster care. I guess you would know better than me. But if he had just been awarded custody and he was supposed to, they said she went off the radar a week before he was supposed to have custody. She had the child in her possession, and a week before he was to get custody, all of a sudden she's missing now. So if she was in foster care, I don't know, but foster care could have been a temporary situation during the custody battle for whatever reason. I don't know. Dad's interview at the same time last year, he said that others involved will go down also. Okay, yeah, absolutely they
Same
will.
way. You do not just take a child from another
And if they've given her kidnapping charges, they didn't just give kidnapping charges out the blue. She didn't have rights to this child.
parent and go about like it's okay. This is not okay. This is actually against the law. So in time, I hope you can understand that this is the truth, and I'll still miss you. I can't wait to see you.
Okay.
And I just hope you understand everything that might be going on, because I know it's a lot. And I'm sorry that your name is circling around so much for this instead of things that you're actually good at and talented at. But I pray we can just start on a good foot. And I'm waiting, and I'll be here, and I'm willing to go at whatever pace you want to go. I miss my daughter.
My man.
Darrell Williams, I'm so proud of you for just keeping up the good fight. I know there's no other option for you. Please keep us posted. And we are praying for Aaliyah's safe return home very, very soon.
Thanks again for having me. And again, I want to thank everybody for your assistance. Like I said, I wouldn't have gotten this much attention without everyone's help. So I really appreciate it. I'm a little lost for words and kind of disheveled a little bit, but I really appreciate it.
We wanted to bring Darrell Williams.
So that's her page, the Cyber Bay. Thank you to all the dads that do not use kids as weapons. So here she is saying, let me go to her page. Thanks to all the dads that do not use kids as weapons, the ones that consider children in all of their choices, the ones that love their children more than they hate their mothers, to the dads that know how much something meant to a child and did it, to the ones that did not crush the kids' dreams because of pain and frustration, to the ones that do not pretend to love the kids and then turn around and hurt them. We appreciate you, your character, integrity. Thank you for not breaking kids' hearts for your own satisfaction. There are a lot of frauds out here. Oh my God. Alicia Brown, the mother of Big Tigga's child, who also says they're married, posted interesting videos after seemingly accused the radio host of violent abuse and cheating with his co-host. All right, let me. And remember, do you guys remember that there was the allegation of her leaving the same child, the child that's missing, quote unquote, that she left her in the car for 8 hours while she went to a casino, and the child has been missing for years, according to the child's father. Girl, okay. Let's just go one more place. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me see if I can find her page real quick. The Cyber Bay. Did she take her page down? No. Let's see. Does anyone follow her? I don't see the Cyber Bay. Maybe she took her page down. If she took it down, she was lucky she got it down before she was arrested. I'll say that. Hold on. Cyber Bay. I guess that's the whole Francesca's posting the allegations being circulated about me are completely false and do not reflect who I am or how I conduct myself. I have never had an affair or cheated with a married man. I stand by my character, my integrity, and my truth. Do you imagine starting a new job and your coworker's wife is coming for your neck like this? Crazy. Okay, so they're over here posting up. I didn't even know this man was married. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I hadn't been following him. Like I hadn't followed this man at all. I guess I just lost track with whatever he had going on since you know, since he was on BET, I guess. This lady looks different all the time. Okay, so that's the kid. That's his son. That's the one who was posting up Mr. Tigga, and that's the little girl. Where's she at? Her page is gone. Y'all see that? His page is there. Her page is gone. So she took her page down, I guess, before she got arrested. Maybe that's who did the photo shoot. But yeah, Cyber Bay took her page down. Okay. Anyway, you guys, let's pivot and see if we can get up on something else really quick. All right, just a second. All right, you guys, let's get caught up over here. Let's listen to so they haven't found Javeayah yet, the remains of Javeayah, as far as leading up to this afternoon. And they did put out the 911 call the other day with the mom calling to report the child missing. And then, of course, we've all since found out that it was a bogus phone call. Basically, she called, and that's why she has a false reporting to the police charge right now. Hold on a second. One of her charges is filing a false police report. All right, let's go here. If y'all have not heard this, let's get into it. But this is what kicked off. So apparently, she was just about to have a baby. And she calls and reports the 4-year-old missing. But according to the authorities in Aiken County, they believe that Javeayah had been gone maybe even a month by this time, that she had potentially already been dead.
County 911, where's your emergency?
Ma'am, I'm at. I can't find my baby. Yes, ma'am. She was outside playing, and I came out here after cooking dinner a little bit, and I'm looking for her, but I don't see her nowhere.
All right. How old is this baby?
She's 4.
All right. What was she wearing?
She has on pink Minnie Mouse pajamas. and she had me in pink beads. She had braids.
Is she black, white, or Hispanic?
She's mixed.
Okay. How long ago did you see her, ma'am? When was the last time you saw her?
I just came out here like no less than 20 to 30 minutes ago. I went in the house to cook dinner, and I told her it's time to come in once it starts getting dark. And when I came out here, I
just take a breath for me, okay? I already have them on the way to you, okay? Do you know where she might be heading? Okay, you have any family or friends that live around the area?
No, but she usually try to chase our chickens to catch them, and I've been looking through the woods to try to see if I see her, but I don't see her nowhere.
What's your name?
My name is Micheline Harris.
What's her name?
Javeayah Harris.
Harris? I couldn't hear the first name.
Javeayah is spelled J-A.
Let me just say this real quick, you guys. If you're not up on this story, let me make sure y'all can hear me.
Javeayah is spelled
Okay. Let me just say this. Okay. If you're not up on this story, so her 4-year-old child, she calls, reports her 4-year-old missing, and the child is not missing at all. It will come out that they, according to the warrants, it states that they eventually confessed, the mother and the father. What the confession was, we don't know, but there are the warrant information for their arrest states that basically they admitted to the child already being deceased. And but this is a complete false police report being filed. And if you saw this child in your timeline, it's because they were looking for her high and low. And finally, the parents admitted that she was no longer alive.
Deayah. And I wasn't out here. I'm 39 weeks pregnant. I can't keep up with her like that.
Okay. And what? Anybody else out there with her? Like that was out there with her? Any friends, kids playing with her?
The way our yard is set up, it's nothing but the dogs and the chickens right here at the back.
All right. Does she have any health issues? Any mental issues? Anything like that?
They suspect that she was autistic, but she just now turned 4, so they don't have no diagnosis all the way.
So issues, anything like that?
They suspect that she was autistic, but she just now turned 4, so they don't have no diagnosis all the way.
Okay.
But she's very smart, though. She don't seem autistic.
Does she talk?
Yeah. She can carry a full conversation.
This is the crazy thing, that this woman sat up here, called the police, called 911, calling in a complete and total false police report. Meanwhile, this child's remains are somewhere. And the thing to me is that they basically, according to the police, that they admitted that she is dead, but why have they not told her where her remains are? That's what I want to know. If you're going to go ahead and say, well, she's dead, why would you not tell them where to find her? Or let them put you in a car and you can walk them over to where she can be recovered and laid to rest. This is just crazy to me. Let me just thank a couple of people real quick. Sonia Sparkly Hands and Belladonna, thank you so much for the gifts. And Miss Lady, thank you for supporting for 26 months. I appreciate it, hun.
Okay, you didn't see any vehicles before you went inside or anything like that?
No, but what worries me is these crackheads that walk in his house behind the house. I don't know. I've always felt weird about them. And
so she's low-key trying to blame her neighbors, but it was you. So you're trying to blame first you say she's autistic. They said, does she have any diagnosis? And she said, they tried to say she was autistic. Okay. That doesn't have anything to do with her disappearing, but if she hadn't been diagnosed, then I don't even know what that was, why she even mentioned that. But again, she's lying. This whole call is a lie. And then you're going to low-key try to blame your neighbors and say that they're a bunch of crackheads, but that's where you live.
I don't know.
still here, ma'am. Give me just a second.
My call might be breaking up because of where we at.
Okay. What's a good callback number for you, ma'am?
Ma'am, I don't have one. My phone is not on, but I can still call 911.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm on the way to you. Just to confirm, where was she in the house when you saw her last?
No, she wasn't in the house, ma'am. She been playing outside today. And she asked me, can she play for a little bit more before it got dark? And I said yes. And I literally, her bath water is in the tub, ran, and dinner is cooking, and I came out here to get her, and I can't even find her. Okay, is there a certain place she likes to play outside? Usually in the chicken coop, and that's usually where I find her every day. And I just looked in here, and she's not in here.
Okay. Is there any bodies of water nearby?
I don't know, ma'am. Me and my husband just now purchasing this house. I don't know about this area much, but it's not a good area. I'll tell you that. It's not good.
Okay, you say you searched the woods. Is that behind your house?
Yes, it's like a pathway right behind my house. And we usually take the dog sometimes in the woods to just let them run. And she'll come, so I know she knows about the woods. And but I look down the same pathway that we walk, and I do not see her.
Okay, and you said she was wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas. Anything else you may be wearing?
Her beads are pink.
Beats are pink?
Yeah, she's got braids. I mean, I don't know if she got on Crocs or with shoes, because she just puts on play shoes, but I don't, ma'am, it's not no way that she could have got far.
All right. Do you have any neighbors around the area that you're familiar with she might be going to?
No, we don't talk to none of these people. None of these people, because they all mostly do drugs. I don't associate myself with that.
Have you checked with neighbors to see if they have seen her?
No, ma'am. I'm literally, I called you 10 minutes after I stepped outside. The cops are pulling up right now.
All right, go ahead and talk to them, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem.
Hey, how you doing?
Will Riv, WRGW.
This video right here, the father ends up having a conversation with a reporter, and I thought this was interesting too, so we'll just listen to this. But yeah, that whole entire 911 call was bogus. Let me show you this real quick. So this is her mugshot, obviously. These are her charges: the homicide, murder, and then also filing a false police report. Okay. Michelle Herring. Okay. And then she says her husband, but that's it's her boyfriend. They're not married. And then Sir, Mr. Jamari Harris. So that's the little girl's father. I'll show you a picture of Javeayah, but it's Michelle. That's Michelle, and then Jamaria, and they're both being charged with murder. She's got the filing a false police report. I think she was getting ready to have the baby, and I guess maybe she had to come up with some kind of reason. I guess whenever the family shows up, where's the other kid? You know what I mean? Again, another just random missing kid, and she's about to have another baby, and I guess they figured it's time. So here we go. Let's listen. This conversation a reporter had with the father. Okay.
You spoke to the father of Javeayah Harris just before his arrest, and here's what he had to say.
Okay, I got up around 5-ish, And my daughter was outside playing. My girl was out there watching her. She was in and out of the house. I say that. And I was going to get up to wash the clothes. Yeah, what else can I say? I left the house around six, like late six, maybe like early seven. It was probably around like 6, and I got back to the house maybe around 7:15 because my girl and my daughter said they wanted some candy, like she wanted some suckers and she wanted some cookies, and I had went to like three stores maybe in between those times to go get gas, Black Miles, and I had got some drinks, like some little Mad Dogs and stuff like that, and when I left and I went back to dry the clothes because I was washing them. I was sitting there for a little minute, and I ended up going to another store. Like these 3 stores that I'm saying, like I sold the 3 stores already, but I went to a store last. Gotcha. And I was back at the washing machine that was right beside the Circle K. And then when I was at the Circle K, I was seeing a lot of police and stuff going through, and I was wondering. I was like, a lot of stuff goes on in Aiken to where you be like, okay, that's the police or whatever. But I didn't know that it was my house because my girlfriend. At the time, she didn't have service. She didn't have service on her phone, so she couldn't call me to let me know anything that was going on. So she just ended up calling 911. So when I came back to the house, before I got on my road, I seen a police truck with a drone out, and then that's when I started speeding up because I was like, it's something going down like close to my house. When I got turned on my road, I seen a whole bunch of police like right at my house. So that's when I hurried up and I got to the house, and I was like, what's going on? I thought my girlfriend was in labor because she was supposed to have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Soon. So she ended up having a child that same night on July 1st. But she came up crying to me saying my Javeayah missing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I kind of freaked out, and the detectives was telling me I couldn't go look and stuff like that because they didn't want me to mess up the area or whatever. But that's basically what happened up until all of this came about.
Okay. Is she known to run away? Like, has there been past issues with that with her? Is she known to do that?
No, she does not run away, but I will say that she is friendly. Like she's friendly. Like she doesn't like it's not a stranger danger thing with her. It's not like get away from me. Like she didn't get that. She didn't understand it. She was just all friendly to everybody. She was very respectful. Like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Like that's what she do. We raised her great. Like she was a real smart kid. That's why like they had me kind of like messed up. But they were saying that she was not like she's non-verbal and that. Like, yeah, she was.
Okay. Do you guys hear him talking? This is before he got arrested, but do you hear him referring to her in the past tense? She was this, she was rather than she is. That's just the one thing that I'm noticing that he's referring to her in the past tense because if in fact she has been deceased for over a month, I mean, they've already accepted, they already know that she's deceased. So he doesn't sound like a very good liar. So, let's just continue to listen.
Since she's autistic and like that was like the media was like messing. I don't want to cuss, but that was messing my head up a little bit because they don't even have a good description of my child to try to describe her.
What's a good? Is she autistic or is she on the spectrum at all? Is that true?
She was on the spectrum when she was born, but they said that she couldn't be tested until she was 4 years old.
Okay, so it's on. You guys just don't know.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. We never got her tested, and she's never given us signs that she is, autistic. She talks good. She's like very like she talks better than me.
Okay, let me just say this. This is another one of these things where, you know how people throw a random detail out as a distraction? So the autism becomes like a center focus of the conversation. And it's like autism has nothing to do with it because for many different reasons. Number one, the fact of what we don't know at this moment is that she's already dead. So them throwing autism into it just added kind of like, oh, there might be some sort of like she may have just wandered. Maybe she doesn't know where she is or she's not keeping up with where she's going. It's like they threw that random detail in there and it becomes a source of kind of like, oh, well, we might be dealing with a kid who has this situation or that situation or whatever. It's just, I feel like it's just one of those random details to distract away from the fact that you guys killed your kid. You're reporting your kid missing because you're getting ready to go to the hospital to deliver another baby, and you probably need to explain to people where your kid is. That's the only reason why y'all doing it at this moment, because the lady's about to go have a baby.
But she got more respect than me.
Understood. So you guys had no idea what could have happened to her?
I have no clue. Like, sir, I don't like, it's really wild, but I had, like I said, I gave all of these detectives this information about people snooping around the house. Lately, it's like since I've started work, like from Friday, well, Thursday really, but from Friday to Monday, I had to work.
Okay.
I was working night shifts, and every time I left, my girl would, like, when she would tell me, like, oh, it's been people doing this, and then the third round of the house, they've been called, like, they be on the phone with people, like, around the house, like, just talking and walking real slow and things like that. And like, I've been telling them that, but
How are you doing through all of this?
I mean, I didn't got.
It's okay.
I didn't got a little bit of it out, but it's like not knowing is killing me. It's killing me, like, because, like, I mean, you see stuff like this often, but you don't expect it to be you.
And is the mother, is she your wife?
No, she's not my wife. She was my girlfriend.
Okay. How is she doing?
She's still a little tore up, but she's making it. She's trying to stay calm because we just, like I said, we just recently had a child. She had to really go in labor early because all the stress that was going down. She had that baby the same night that all of this happened.
23-year-old Javeayah Harris was later arrested on July 3rd by Aiken County Sheriff's Department and remains in custody at this time, where he's charged with the 4-year-old's murder. Stay tuned to our socials and online at bluntforcemedia.com for the latest.
Anybody else live in the household with you?
Yes, sir, the father.
So just one?
Yes, sir.
My name is Judge Thornton. Today's date is July 5th, 2026, and you are in bond court. When bond is set, and if you can meet the requirements, you will be released from this facility. However, being released on bond will have no effect on your charges or your day in court. Your release may necessitate contacting a bonding company for assistance. There is a list of local bonding company names and phone numbers in the back to help. You have the right to a jury trial. You also have the right and an obligation to attend all court proceedings. If you choose not to attend, you may be tried in your absence. A bench warrant may be issued for your arrest, and you could face additional charges. If your charges are dismissed or you are found not guilty, you also have the right to petition the court to have those charges expunged, which means that they will come off of your criminal history. You have the right to represent yourself, or you can get your own attorney. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, the court may appoint an attorney to represent you. We will start the qualification process today, but it is up to you to follow up. For charges that will be heard in General Sessions Court, you contact the Public Defender's Office to complete the application process. Court dates, times, and locations will be included in the paperwork that I'm about to give you, so don't try to keep up with anything in your head. For charges that will be heard in General Sessions Court, you have the right to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing does not determine if you are guilty or not guilty. It simply confirms if probable cause exists to move forward to trial with the charges that you face. If you want a preliminary hearing, you need to submit the form I will give you within 10 days, and that 10 days starts today. You will get a copy of everything that you sign. Understand that by signing, know that it is not an admission of guilt or anything other than a receipt of the documents as part of this bond hearing process.
Yeah, they confessed. I think they brought them in. The details are a little bit sketchy. I'm going to go to the video where they actually, the local news, WRDW, they've had like the mother load of information, and they basically say that they were brought into the police department and they confessed. Now, what led them? I think anytime a kid goes missing, at a certain point, they're going to bring you in and talk to you a little bit more, the detectives. And they probably, I mean, these two, look, these people are young. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if they thought that they were smarter than the detectives who get up and do this type of work every single day. But obviously, they didn't make it through the questioning, because by the time the interview was over, they had already confessed and they were arrested. So that's really what led up to their arrest. Now, are they giving up the goods on where this child is? It doesn't seem like it yet, because her remains have not been recovered at all. So, this might be that interview right there. Okay, let's listen to this a little bit more. But this is basically, just to cut to the chase, she will be denied bond.
Please follow the deputy's guidance and sign and initial everywhere that it is highlighted in yellow. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Herring, you've been charged with homicide by child abuse. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if convicted, it carries up 20 years to life in prison? Ms. Herring,
Yes,
you've been charged with, you've also been charged with filing a false police report and that charge.
Yes, sir.
Of a felony violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
It carries up to 5 years in prison or a $5,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, or are you going to retain the services? Are you going to retain the services of your own legal counsel?
I can get public assistance.
Okay. So answer a couple of questions for me. Are you employed?
Yes, sir.
And where do you work?
Transcom.
Transcom?
Yes, sir.
Do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Bi-weekly.
And on average, what do you typically bring home every 2 weeks?
$1,300.
Anybody else live in the household with you?
Yes, sir. The father.
So just one?
Yes, sir.
Does he do anything to contribute to the financial status of the home?
He work at DHL.
Okay. All right, at this time, you make too much money to qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Okay.
So you're going to need to retain the services of legal counsel on your own.
This is my thing. You're in jail. You got someone in jail. Even if she make $1,300 every 2 weeks, she's not making $1,300 now sitting in jail. I think they need to ask a better question is, do you have any money in the bank? Do you have any accessible cash? Because somebody having a job, making a certain amount of money, doesn't mean anything if you can't be there to work. So if you know that you're getting ready to deny her bond, having a $1,300 every 2 week job is irrelevant. I think that's crazy. Not to mention this is a murder case. She can't not have an attorney.
You also have a first court appearance set up for September 18th of this year at 9 a.m. in the main courtroom. at the Aiken County Judicial Center, 109 Park Avenue Southeast in Aiken. Right? If you're able to bond out, then you'll need to be there for this first appearance. If you have not bonded out on these charges, the sheriff's office will transport you to the courtroom.
I mean, I hate to say it. You said no tears. First of all, the child's already been dead a month. So she's already accepted and she's probably done her grieving. And on top of that, a woman who kills their child, I mean, I'm going to make a gross assumption here. She might have hated the little girl. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would they do such a thing? Was he not the baby daddy? Like, did he find out that wasn't his kid? Why did you hate that baby? Were you trying, was it a Susan Smith type thing? Were you trying to go be with somebody else? Was that somebody else's kid? Like, what was going, like, why would you kill your child? Did you just hate the little girl? So no tears. I mean, I'm not surprised. The baby's already been dead. They laid her somewhere to rest where they haven't even, you're going to tell the people that she's gone, but you haven't even bothered to tell the people where to go retrieve the remains. Like, it's crazy to me. So yeah, I don't expect any tears because I mean, who does that type of thing? So they had to, I mean, she had to have some sort of disdain for this child. I mean, I hate to just put it that way, but it's, how else could you do something like that? She's not sitting, like, she's not presenting mentally distraught or disturbed. You know, some people, we see them and it's like, girl, that lady's crazy. She seems very much composed. She just had a child. She can't even, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. He was already speaking in the past tense, absolutely, because he's fully aware that the child's gone.
Does Victim Services have anything they'd like to add to the record this morning?
Yes, we ask that she complies with DSS requirements.
All right. Very good. Is there anyone from law enforcement that is here to put anything on the record? Very well. All right. Ms. Harriet, with regards to a homicide by child abuse, it carries 20 years to life if convicted. Based on the severity of the charge and the penalty that it carries, I do not have the authority to set.
All right, so this was the bond hearing earlier this morning for Mishaila Herring, who is the mother of Javeayah Harris. She was denied bond for filing that false police report. And you heard the judge talk about this a little bit. He said he did not have the authority to set bond related to the homicide by child abuse charge. So we did just get a live update from Sydney Hood, our reporter there in the courtroom now, who said that Harris, the father, just walked into the courtroom now. So this bond hearing for the father is actively happening. So any updates that she provides, I will bring them live to you right here as we get them. So stick with us as we work to get this information out to you guys. They had to go get a special judge, a circuit court judge, to deal with this because violent crimes require in South Carolina that a specific judge, a circuit court judge, needs to set bond, and homicide by child abuse is one of those charges. They are the ones who have the bond setting authority exclusively for charges like this. But again, you're seeing this footage from earlier this morning for the mother. This was her bond hearing. It's unclear if she's going to show back up.
Yes, this happened on Sunday. This happened Sunday at some point. So yeah, they've already been denied bond. They have already confessed. They have been, so they live in like a single wide trailer. I'll show you some of the footage where they were out around the house, collecting evidence, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, they got arrested, I think on the 3rd, And this bond hearing, I believe I think this was Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, but this has all been going on for a few days now, that like leading up to 4th of July. So let's just say they were arrested on the 3rd. Then it was 4th of July. And then Sunday morning, this happened.
To bond court this morning to address the homicide by child abuse charge, but she will have that arraignment, that first appearance on September 18th at 9 a.m. That's when she will enter into a plea of
no
guilty or not
bond.
guilty at that time. So
no bond and no court until September.
A little more than a month away before we learn what her plea will end up being. She was in court today by herself, no family, no attorney there. You heard the judge say she does not qualify for a public defender, so she will have to go and retain counsel on her own because she didn't qualify again for public defender status. And you heard that she will have to be, she will adhere to DSS requirements. So Department of Social Services with the state is involved at this time. I know that a lot of people have asked about the baby that she gave birth to when she called 911 and said Javeayah was missing. We know that she did have a child in the hospital, and that child is with other family at this time. So that's what we know about the situation. Javeayah's body has still not been recovered as far as we know. That's the last information we have from the sheriff's office. And we know that they were searching up in Great Falls, South Carolina. That's in Chester County. Your Meredith Anderson was up there yesterday and got plenty of photos and videos. And Javeayah's family actually showed up to the scene, and some of them telling us that they learned about most of this, or that she was deceased because of Facebook posts, which is.
So Michelet and Javeayah, their families had no idea that Javeayah was even missing. So I think that the fact that she was about to have that baby, she probably waited till her water broke so she could go off to the hospital and play distraught, distressed, and all of the things. And because she needed to come up with a reason of where was the 4-year-old. It just doesn't make any other sense why all of a sudden, if the baby now that we know that this child has been gone for at least a month, they probably asked neighbors, like, when was the last time you saw the little girl? It would stand to reason you're getting ready to have this baby and you're going to have to go to the hospital. You need to explain where this child is. Oh, she went missing.
Heartbreaking to hear. So that's the newest update today in the search. For those of you joining us outside the area, this is in Aiken County, South Carolina, right next to Augusta, Georgia. And we are waiting for more information related to the bond hearing for past Columbia. You can see it there on the map. The hearing that you just saw for the mother, court will hear bond with. Okay, so the circuit court will hear bond with. Okay, here we've got some video for you guys. This just happened, so we're feeding this back here as quickly as we can. I mean, this just happened, so you guys are getting your first look with me. I'm also seeing this for the first time.
Judge Thornton, you're in bond court. When bond is set, and if you can meet the requirements of the bond, you will be released from this facility. However, being released on bond will have no effect on your charges or your day in court. You've been charged with homicide by child abuse, which carries a prison sentence, if convicted, of 20 years to life. You understand that? Yes. You have the right to a jury trial. You also have the right and obligation to attend all court proceedings. You have the right to represent yourself and get your own attorney. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, the court may appoint an attorney to represent you. We will start that qualification process today, but it is up to you to follow up. Your case is going to be heard in General Sessions Court. So after today's preliminary application, you will be given an opportunity to meet with the public defender's office to confirm if that's the direction you want to go. Court dates, times, and locations of all future court dates and proceedings will be included in the paperwork that I will give you today. Charges that will be heard in General Sessions Court, you also have a right to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing does not determine if you are guilty or not guilty. It simply confirms that there's probable cause sufficient to move forward to trial with the charges that you face. Understanding all this and the charges and the penalties.
They just always love to do a close-up on those shackles. Okay. Spoiler, he was denied. So both parents were denied. You know, these are murder cases. There's a child under the age of like 12 years old. So that's like an aggravator. So there's no way that they were going to get, and it's also South Carolina. They weren't getting any bond. They are basically remanded into the custody. They also haven't provided a location for the remains. Let me see if this is going to, hold on. Let me see if okay, so. All right, let's look at this real quick. We're just going to skip to that. If you guys want me to save this queue, I can save it. And then if you guys want to watch these videos in full, I'll save this this lineup of videos, because we kind of didn't listen to the whole proceeding, because really it is just them going through. So Miss Chalet said she made $1,300 a week. She didn't qualify. He works for DHL. I think based on what he says, they're going to tell him that he actually qualifies. At the end of the day, they both didn't get bond, so it really doesn't matter at this point. And then there were the two interviews. There was the 911 call, and then there was the interview that he did with the reporter, where I think the story kind of started to fall apart. But let's listen to this. They're going to discuss the conversations that they had with law enforcement that led law enforcement to arrest them. So any of you guys who had a question as to why they were arrested, this will probably answer some of those questions. So let's get into this.
We have received the 911 call, which is shedding light on the day 4-year-old Javeayah Harris was reported missing by her mother, Miss Chalet Herring. New warrants show the parents confessed in the case of Javeayah's death. In the call, the mother describes the neighborhood.
I don't know about this area much, but it's not a good area. I'll tell you that. It's not good.
Okay, you say you searched the woods. Is that behind your house?
Yes, it's like a pathway right behind my house.
Your Sydney Hood and Will Rio have been following this since the beginning. We now know that call was just fabricated. What new details are the 911 call and warrants revealing, Will and Sydney?
Well, Zaina, tonight, Javeayah is still missing. The search for her body is still ongoing. Her parents are still behind bars, and that call, like you said, Zaina, we now know is not true. We had been searching for the 911 call. We requested that last week. We now have the warrants as well. You listened to the full 911 call, so did I. Break that down and break down what these warrants say, Sydney.
Well, Will, in that call, you hear Javeayah's mom describe her to police. The description that we got was the same one that she gave deputies that night. She called 911 just before 9 o'clock Tuesday night, telling dispatchers her 4-year-old daughter had been playing outside and vanished. And what followed was a massive search. Thousands of acres, multiple agencies, days of looking for a little girl in dangerous summer heat. Arrest warrants released today tell a very different story than that 911 call. The warrants use stark language, saying both parents showed, quote, extreme indifference to human life. The warrants state that the parents failed to seek medical attention for Javeayah after she suffered an injury from physical abuse at the hands of Herring. The warrants also say say the abuse happened between May 1st and June 15th, meaning Javeayah may have been dead for weeks before that 911 call was ever made.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm on the way to you. Just to confirm, where was she in the house when you saw her last?
No, she wasn't in the house, ma'am. She been playing outside today. And she asked me, can she play for a little bit more before it got dark? And I said yes. And I literally, her bath water is in the tub, ran, and dinner is cooking, and I came out here to get her, and I can't even find her.
Now, in the arrest warrants, Will, Herring admits to disposing Javeayah's body somewhere else. And as you had mentioned earlier, both of Javeayah's parents remain behind bars tonight, both charged with homicide by child abuse, her mom facing a charge of filing a false police report.
Now, I want to go over the 911 call. It's around 5 minutes long. And if you had the chance to listen to that, this sounds like a real 911 call to dispatcher. She's very upset. The mother is very upset, saying that Javeayah had actually been outside playing with the chickens in the chicken coop. We knew that from the incident report that we got last week or over the weekend. And she also said that Javeayah had asked her to go inside and actually went inside and said that she wanted to play. So she had this story that she was telling this 911 dispatcher. And the most shocking part of this is that this whole story is not true. She gave an entire description of Javeayah, saying that she had pink beads in her hair, was wearing Minnie Mouse pajamas. She was very smart, very talkative, and was great at having conversations. So she had this entire story, said she was 39 weeks pregnant, couldn't keep up with her, was searching in the woods, and she needed help. She was unsure of some of the people that may have been around her house. But again, we do know that this story was not true. Again, she's charged with filing a false police report, and also in that warrant saying that she had disposed of her body in an area outside of Aiken County. And I think one of the parts of the warrants, and you pointed this out already, was that May 1st to June 15th mark for the homicide by child abuse charge. So again, Javeayah could have been gone for weeks before that 911 call was made. We know the sheriff telling us that Javeayah had likely been deceased for a month.
And another thing that I want to bring up, Will, is I was back out in the neighborhood today talking with neighbors of Javeayah. And I know one question that we had and many people at home had was, did Javeayah ever live in that house? I spoke to 3 neighbors today. 2 live across the street and 1 lives next door. And they said that they did see Javeayah at that house, but they had not seen her in about a month or 2.
The other part of this warrant, I'll read it for you. I just want to make sure I'm getting the verbiage right, because you said there were some strong and powerful words in this warrant. They also mentioned that they did not seek medical attention for Javeayah after knowing that Javeayah had suffered injury, which was obtained from physical abuse. Again, that charge, you see it right here on your screen. It's homicide by child abuse. And then the mother also charged with filing that false police report. The father is not charged with that at this time. But if you look at the father's warrant as well, it's interesting the verbiage that they use in his, and they say that he is charged with the homicide by child abuse, but it was from the victim's mother. So it clearly states that the victim's mother had done that child abuse and had caused those injuries to Javeayah. And then the mother was also charged in that warrant with disposing of Javeayah's body. So that gives us an insight as to what exactly happened and who did what in this case as well, according to these warrants.
Absolutely. And reading these warrants today, Will, both of us getting a picture of what actually happened according to these warrants. I go back to that news conference that Sheriff Marty Sawyer had, where he was telling us the news that no one wanted to hear, that they believed Javeayah had been dead for at least a month. And he had one line that stood out to me where he said that by the time that 911 call was made, it was already too late for Javeayah. And certainly these warrants give us a better picture of that. 2 different stories between that 911 call from her mother and what these warrants have to say as well.
It's truly hard to listen to. If you have a chance to listen to it, this is on our website as well, WRDW.com. And going back to the 911 call, there's the father's side to all of this. I interviewed with him on Thursday over the phone. That's also on our website if you haven't checked that out. And again, he gave an entire story as to what happened the day that Javeayah went missing. We still don't know if that's true or not, because we don't know if he was at the house at the time of that 911 call. He tells us he wasn't. He was out running some errands, went to 3 or 4 stores to get candy for Javeayah, get some alcohol, get gas, and some Black & Mild McDonald's and then had seen police and then ended up back home. But I asked him, did you know what happened to Javeayah? Do you know anything? He told me, no, sir, I don't. Again, charged with homicide by child abuse. In this case, we have the full 911 call on our website. Again, if you haven't checked that out, we also have the warrants. We'll have more throughout this evening, Zaina.
Sydney and Will, thank you. Just hard to listen to that 911 call, hard to read those warrants. You just question.
Okay, hold on a second, guys. Let me pivot over here really quick. Okay. Okay, y'all can see this. So it says, upon information and belief, the defendant Michelle A. Herring, the mother of Javeayah, 4 years of age, caused the death of Javeayah, who was under the age of 11, while committing child abuse or neglect. The death occurs under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to human life by not seeking medical attention for Javeayah after knowing that Javeayah suffered an injury which was obtained from physical abuse. The information was obtained by the defendant's confession and co-defendant's confession. The defendant lives in a home on Hillsborough Street in Aiken, South Carolina, in the county of Aiken with Javeayah. This happened between May 1st and June 15th. So that's like damn 6 weeks of time. May 1st and June 15th, but being the location, being in violation of South Carolina Statute 16-3-85 and the Code of Laws as amended. And then the next one states, upon information and belief, Michelle A. Herring, the mother of Javeayah, 4 years of age, reported to Aiken County Sheriff's Office that her daughter was missing and or abducted by another person. This was determined to be false. The search of the area and interviews revealed that she had not been abducted. Michelle A. admitted that she had disposed of Javeayah's body at another location. This happened at the Hillsborough Street, Aiken, South Carolina, in the county of Aiken, in violation of statute 1617-0722 of the Code of Laws as amended. Then the next one, upon information and belief, the defendant Javeayah Cavante Harris, the father of Javeayah, 4 years old, caused the death of Javeayah, who was under the age of 11, while committing child abuse or neglect. And the death occurs under the circumstances manifesting of extreme difference. So it doesn't really give us the details. Something happened. Circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to human life by not seeking medical attention for the victim after knowing the victim suffered severe head injury, which was obtained by physical abuse by the victim's mother. So they're putting it on mom, and then they're putting it on dad, I'm assuming, for not reporting, not getting her help, and going along with everything. This information was obtained by the defendant's confession and the co-defendant's confession. The defendant lives in the home on Hillsborough Street in Aiken, South Carolina, county of Aiken. This happened between May 1st and June 15th. How did they not know a date? And also, why have they not divulged the location so that they can go and lay this child to rest? That's what I would like to know. Okay, let's finish up this report.
You just don't know how a parent could do such a thing. The big question still remains, where exactly is Javeayah? Your Meredith Anderson has been at the search site for Javeayah's body at the Fairfield and Chester County line. Meredith, what's the latest search efforts looking like?
The search for the body of 4-year-old Javeayah Harris is concentrated here in rural Fairfield County. To give you an idea, it's about 2 hours outside of Augusta, and no one is getting in this area at all. You can see they've got the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office blocking it off. So really the only people coming and going are investigators. And I'm told that this is an access to Debutary Creek, which feeds into a much larger body of water. Something to note about this body of water water. And it's well known around for fishermen in the area because it's really good fishing for crappie. The reason it's good is because it's filled with stumps. The Rocky Creek Pond that is not too far from here is nicknamed Stumpy Pond by a lot of the locals. So that goes to show you the water is kind of treacherous for boats, good for fishing, but there's lots of places for fish to cover. So that could mean some clues into what investigators are having to go by. Something else here too, we have been here for a couple of hours. It's been raining, it's been thundering. That is important because we know drone teams are in the area. And because of the weather that we've been facing today, perhaps drones have not been able to go up in the air. A note about this location too. This is a location where Javeayah Harris's family started showing up Saturday. I was here Saturday. I tracked the area through the back of the tail number on SLED's helicopter. It was up in the sky. It was circling the water here. So I hopped in the car and I drove here. And I wasn't the only one. Javeayah Harris's family members were coming here. They don't live too far from here. And they had seen the news about their loved one on Facebook, on social media. And this was after the sheriff's office made the announcement that she is likely dead. Cars coming and going all day today. I'm not really sure which one, a lot of them unmarked, but we've seen a lot of DNR and a lot of the local Fairfield County Sheriff's Office coming and going here today. But again, back to her family. Once they found out about her likely death, they didn't know where to go. They didn't know what to do, and they wanted information. So they came here looking for answers. And today we're getting more answers. We got a copy of the warrants, and today we learned that both the mother and the father have confessed. At least that's what the warrant said, and that the mother confessed to disposing of Javeayah's body. That is of particular interest because as far as we know, this is the only area that they are searching right now. And I can tell you, after being out of here Saturday, we saw law enforcement from a bunch of different agencies, but DNR seemed to be the most pronounced, I guess you could say, agency out here. I saw multiple boats that were being pulled out of here with trailers, ATVs, those were on trailers being pulled out. There was a rather large mobile command unit. So this appears to be the spot where they are searching for her body. We will continue monitoring this today. I'm trying to get a look at the cars that are coming and going and the different agencies.
So they've been looking at the house too. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick and then I'm gonna let y'all go. I wanted to go and look over at the update. I think it's gonna just take too long at this point. 39 Hillsborough Street, Aiken, South Carolina. Okay, let me look at this up. Just a second, y'all. 39 Hillsborough. They were out around this place. I'm assuming that they have done all of the obvious things like go under the, I forget what they call that, skirting or something, whatever that is, the skirting of the trailer. But they back up into some woods. And I would imagine that they're searching, and I don't know. This is just, it's awful. I just don't understand why and how you don't give up the location at this point. If you've already confessed that the worst has happened, then just go ahead and give up the location so she could be laid to rest, unless they, you know what I'm saying, they're just too ashamed to admit what they did. What if they didn't unalive her? What if they, I don't know, sis. I mean, they said that that's what they did, so that's what we kind of have to go on. If they didn't do that, like who would say that they did the worst? Which trafficking someone is just as bad, it's all bad, right? But who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't want to deal. I can't, I don't know. I can't even veer off. Like, I guess we can all think about it. I don't know. You know what I mean? What if they did that? I don't know. She's still missing. She is in danger. I would say that. If they did that, then she's still in grave danger and she needs to be found. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make a difference if they sold her or gave her away. She's in grave danger and she needs resources to help her, because she's 4 years old. She deserves to have somebody in her best interest making sure that she's safe. So if she has parents that would do something like that, she's in danger. That's what I would say. That's my best answer. She's in danger and she needs help. Poor thing. But oh, let's see. Those inmates gonna have a field day with the both of them, period. We don't know what they did. Like, we haven't been privy to the conversations, but they're still looking for the child. So if they are having to look high and low for her, they must not have provided that information to law enforcement to make it easy for them to find them. So, okay, you guys, we'll get caught up on the other story. I wanted to get caught up on the Siders because some information came out today. So we'll get caught up on it tomorrow. Maybe the Ohio situation with the 16 children. It has been alleged that there was a set of conjoined twins that I think passed away the day they were born. This lady had so many kids that she had a set of conjoined twins, which is okay. So we'll have to get into that tomorrow. I don't want to hold on to y'all too much longer. But yeah, we will definitely get into that tomorrow. But yeah, there's more and more information coming out about the Siders. Gary Sr., just to give you a little update, Gary Sr., who looks like he's kin to the Whitakers, they let him out on his own recognizances. Apparently something happened over to the jail, and they said his condition, they let him out on his own recognizances because they said he had a fall over at the jail. He's in his 70s, right? He had a fall, and they said basically if they kept him in custody, the injuries that he has, the county would be on the hook for his medical care. This is exactly what they said. They said that the county would be on the hook for his medical care. And because of that, they went ahead and let him out on his own recognizances and sent him to the hospital so that I think he gets Medicare. So that because his injuries, they said, could bankrupt the whole county of Vinton, all of Vinton County. So they went ahead and let him out on his own recognizances so that he could receive treatment. And I guess, girl, Medicaid could pay for it. Okay. I was like, I am done with y'all. I'm done. I said, you know what? I'm done. I am done with Vinton County baby, they said his injury could bankrupt the whole county. And so they let him out on his own recognizances, and he's going over there to the hospital. And I'm not messing with y'all. We'll talk about it tomorrow, okay? I cannot. Girl, they had to crunch the numbers, and they said, let's let him go ahead and go to the hospital under his Medicare, because we are not, the Vinton County Sheriff's Department is not paying his medical bills. Let's go, because they probably can't bill Medicare if he's in state custody, right? So they'll make the county pay for it because he's in the custody of the state. He's not his own person at this moment, right? So if he is out on his own recognizances, he can use his Social Security, he can use his benefits, which would probably be Medicare. Now, somebody in the press conference, this was the press conference today with the DA. Do you guys want to watch the press conference real quick with the DA? I was like, girl, they made a whole legal decision based on his medical. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the DA's. The DA's press conference is only like 10 minutes. So hold on, let me see. Girl, the Siders story, as sad as that is, that's kind of a key too. Girl. Is this, let me see if I can find the prosecutor. Okay, hold on. Prosecutor. Okay. Girl, the prosecutor was like, look, his care is going to be expensive and we're not trying to cover it. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Gary's lawyer also said that he felt like the attorney general was trying to weaponize extreme poverty. He said the inflammatory comments that they made, he said they're weaponizing extreme poverty when he said that it, we talked about this at length already. Some of the ad-libbing that the attorney general was doing, the absolute, he basically said he'd never seen anything like this before. He only saw that on TV. He didn't know that it existed in his backyard, in his own community. Anyway, Gary Sider's lawyer basically said the same thing. Let me tag this one and we'll look at it tomorrow. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look at this real quick. Okay.
Right now, take a listen.
A couple of points that needed to be addressed. First, the Siders cases, they are Vinton County cases. We have appreciated the support of the state and the Ohio Attorney General, but they continue to be Vinton County cases, and all decisions will be made by my office. The Attorney General did offer assistance and has agreed to provide an assistant AG. Her name is Kara Keating. And yesterday, motion was filed to have her appointed special prosecutor to assist me in the prosecution. Also, Annika Collins, who is a Highland County prosecuting attorney.
You guys, let me just say this. For those of you who don't know who the Siders are, there you go. This one's Gary Sr. The old man, the older gentleman, that's Gary Sr. The younger man is Gary Jr. And then you've got Elizabeth, the one who looks like she is a whole zombie. And then you've got Christine, mom. Okay. That's what we're looking at right now. Okay. These are the Siders. And they said that there was 16 children cooped up in a 12 by 12 room and extreme child abuse. Okay. Extreme child abuse situation. Gary Sr. over there to the jail had a fall, and rather than putting him into the hospital at the expense of the county, they went ahead and released him on his own recognizances because they said the injuries could bankrupt the county. But I'm like, I wonder, I mean, I don't know. If he hurt himself at the county, I mean, girl, they might have picked up a lawsuit too. You know what I'm saying? Because his lawyer is on a rampage. So anyway, these are the Siders. Okay. So just as a frame of reference, if you didn't know what I was talking about, this is that family, and they have been charged with multiple, like each person. So Gary Sr. and Gary Jr. were charged with 17 counts of child abuse. Christine, the grandmother, 16. Elizabeth, 16. Gary Jr. also was charged with 4 counts of indecent liberties or something. They had a parallel investigation going at the same time. Gary Jr. apparently was outside, and they said that he exposed himself on 4 different occasions where he exposed his penis outside and was reported. And they were coming to serve a Gary Jr. was outside, and they said that he was outside exposing his penis. Okay? Look, we're not putting 20 on 10. I'm giving you the actual facts. I don't know anything about CSAM and these people. Okay, we're going to stick with the facts right now. And the facts are 17 counts of child abuse for the men, 16 counts of child abuse for the women each. Gary Jr. has 4 counts of like lewd, let's just say lewd, indecent exposure type charges. What they're saying is that there were 4 reports that somebody matching Gary Jr.'s description was out here flashing his penis. Okay? That was what brought them to the house. And when they got to the house to serve a warrant to find Gary Jr., that's when they found the 16 children in captivity. We're just going to say it like that. Okay? All right. Y'all are funny. Okay, hold on. You wish you could use GIFs. I don't, because you'd probably have me in huge trouble with YouTube. They don't need to bring commenting by GIFs to YouTube because it's bad enough. You know I'm a GIF fanatic. I love the memes. We would be in trouble. We would be off the air. Okay. I already know we would be off the air. Okay. Let's listen to this and I'm gonna let y'all go. Okay.
I filed a motion to have her appointed as a special prosecutor, as she was an old colleague of mine when I worked in Highland County. Both of these women are outstanding prosecutors with extensive experience in child cases, and they will do nothing but help our team progress through these cases. The other thing finally on that point is, for the taxpayers, these special prosecutors come at no cost to Vinton County. They've either volunteered or they're being paid by their respective offices. Point number 2, I think most of you are aware now that Gary Siders Sr., the older Gary Siders, was provided with a bond today, an OR bond. Let me explain the circumstances around that. First, let me stress, the community is not at risk because of this bond. Yesterday, as you all know, the cases were scheduled for preliminary hearing. During the transport, Mr. Siders fell and had a medical issue that required treatment and assessment. O'Glennis Hospital was where he was taken, and it was determined at that point upon some tests that O'Glennis did that Mr. Siders Sr. has a serious medical condition that requires specialized care in a hospital outside of this area. Practically, and I don't know if you folks know this or not, but when defendants are housed in county jails, it is the county's responsibility to pay for the medical care. Prisons are for defendants who have been convicted. Then the state pays for it, but he's still an innocent man that has not been convicted yet. So the county was going to be on the hook for his medical care. And again, based on the information that we were provided, his medical care could potentially bankrupt Vinton County. We were not going to put that burden also on our local taxpayers. And so it was agreed that we would do a recognizance bond so he could get the medical treatment that the doctors say he needs, and won't cost the county that money. If he's released from the hospital, he will then be equipped with a GPS monitor. Also, if you haven't already noticed on the docket, his defense attorney did file competency motions, as I'm sure you have noticed from the proceedings in which he's been present. There's certainly been some issues about his ability to go forward on the prosecution. And so his defense attorney decided to file those motions to have him assessed. That is all that I have at this point. I'm willing to answer briefly questions related to that. I will stress with you, our office has specifically not addressed the factual nature of this case because it is still under investigation. There's a lot of information still out there, and in fairness to the defendants, particularly to the victims and to the community, we're not releasing information until it's appropriate to do so. Again, having said that, I'll address whatever questions there might be. Yes, ma'am.
Well, Slider Senior's attorney had criticized comments made by your office and state officials saying you were trying to try the case in the court of public opinion. How would you respond to those comments from his attorney?
Mr. Baum filed a second response and indicated the comments were not made by me. And I made that clear. If you go back and review the comments that I made, I simply laid out what happened in court and that it wasn't human trafficking because that was a major issue to the community. And I wanted to make sure they knew this was not human trafficking.
What type of expensive care does Gary Senior need? What kind of test, what kind of care is he going to?
You know that that's a HIPAA issue and that's not anything that I can address.
Elizabeth's attorney has expressed concerns that she could be a victim in this case. Is that something your office is looking into?
According to her attorney, she's not a victim. So we'll let him decide how he wants to address his representation of her. I'm sorry, ma'am. No.
Are there any questions about the mental capacity of the other suspects?
Capacity?
Yeah.
Again, that's up to their defense attorneys to whether they want to go down that road or not. So that's a better question for them.
Social media has been a big part of this case. There's been a lot of attention online. Can you speak to how that impacts your office and how this was working?
If you've seen some of the stuff on the media, social media, there were pictures that the kids were in cages, that they were taped shut, their mouths, whatever. The problem with social media is you don't have to be telling the truth. You don't have to be saying anything that's accurate. I don't understand why people put stuff like this on. It's not truthful. It's not accurate, but I can't stop it. And all I can do is shrug my shoulders and say, why are we doing this to this, particularly to these victims? Because they're going to be tarnished by this for a long part of their lives.
Can you share an update on the children's condition? Are they all out of the hospital or are they all in homes?
I can't answer that specifically, but I will tell you that they are all safe and being cared for.
Is there any evidence that Elizabeth Slider may have had more than 16 children in her lifetime?
Again, I can't address that specific fact.
Were all four of these suspects receiving state benefits? If not all of them, who was?
To my knowledge, only the two elderly, the two oldest, Mr. Grandma and Grandpa, were the only ones I'm aware of that were receiving benefits at that time, at the time of this incident.
Are you still expecting more charges?
I don't know that part. I don't know.
Are you still expecting more possible charges?
The investigation is ongoing.
When do you expect a grand jury indictment? Do you know when they meet next?
The grand jury is a secret process. We do not disclose specifics on that. We hope to be having information for that within the next couple of weeks. What I will tell you is, this is not Franklin County, who has grand juries every day practically. Normally, Vinton County has a grand jury every other month, which is why the preliminary hearing issue came up, is because we don't have grand jury that often, and by right, the defendants have the ability to have that hearing.
Has any testing been done to assure that all 16 children belong to the same person?
I can't address that.
Can you comment, Mr. Prosecutor, real quick, the relationship, or what you learned about the relationship of the deceased property owner and any member of the Siders family?
Other than being tenants, I don't know that there is any.
Were they tenants or were they squatters?
When? Oh, sorry.
Were they tenants, were they paying rent, or were they squatters?
My understanding, they were paying rent, yes.
Did the children have birth certificates?
I don't know that we have all of their birth certificates. Let me answer that.
Were they all registered with the state?
Again, a little bit beyond what I can I answered you what I know at this point.
Your Sanders Jr. will be in court tomorrow for unrelated charges.
He will not. His defense attorney is on vacation and has filed to continue. So if you were planning on coming, I'll save you your time. That has been continued. I don't know what the new date is. Check with county court, but it is not happening tomorrow.
Was that the parallel investigation that brought investigation?
I can't answer that.
Do we know if anyone in the family was working, how his family got an income?
Again, we will get to some of those things when we have a little bit more of an ability to give you some more of the facts. But I can't get into that anymore.
Are there any federal agencies are involved in this investigation?
How many agencies?
Can you speak to if there's any federal agencies involved in this investigation?
No, not to my knowledge.
Do you know of any children's services safety checks conducted at that home, be it Franklin County, be it Vinton County? Was there any mandatory reporting, especially by hospitals or medical officials?
Again, I can't address that, sorry.
The indecency charges, can you share any more about that investigation and the allegations he's facing when it comes to that?
I can't. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
As you have been listening live, the Vinton County prosecutor giving an update in the child endangerment case we've been following involving 16 children discovered last week in one home there in Vinton County.
So that was Vinton County Prosecutor William Archer. Clearly wanting to give an update, and it sounds like he wanted to update not only the media but also the public about the situation surrounding Gary Siders Sr., who was released on a recognizance bond, and he wanted to explain why. And it all surrounded what appears to be a medical situation involving the Senior Siders family member.
It sounds like he had a fall, and so they needed to get him to the ER to evaluate kind of his situation there. And in that process, also discovered that they were dealing with a specialized care that would be needed for a medical issue. So that is why he is no longer in jail at this hour. So that was one of the things he wanted to update everyone on, but also updating on the special prosecutors that will now be joining him in prosecuting this case as it moves forward, pulling people from different counties.
Yes, he listed one of them, which was Highland County Prosecutor Annika Collins, who he said he's worked with before. So she is one person that is now going to be assisting him as a special prosecutor. Also, Kara Keating, who is a special prosecutor from the AG's office. So he is getting help from different offices, but Archer was very clear to let people know this is a Vinton County case. This is a Vinton County investigation. The state is assisting, but all information and the core.
So they asked a question. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. They are doing there is testing happening, obviously, because they're trying to figure out who all these kids are. Are they all Elizabeth's kids? Were there birth certificates for everybody? I don't think that there were. They said that there was a record that she'd been to a hospital that allegedly she had conjoined twins. Baby, they had a lot going on over there. So there could have been 5 additional. So let's just say 16 kids, right? If they said that there were 5 more they found 16 kids. If there was a record of 2 children of a set of conjoined twins, so that's another 2, that makes 18. They said that there could have been at least 21 children. So 5 other births. I don't know how humanly possible this woman could be 31 years old and have had all of these births. And we know some of them were twins. Baby, I do not know. I don't know, but there's a story. Somebody's got the story, okay? It sure does, but we know all about the Whitakers. I think we talked about the Whitakers initially when we first heard about this story. So yeah, this is not uncommon, but it's not the norm. There's plenty of large families out here that are not living with 16 children all in one room. No education, no birth certificates, no just living feral. According to the Attorney General, he said that these were feral children. There are plenty of kids growing up in Appalachia who may not have what people in the city have or people in rural America or middle America have, but they're being raised up just fine. This is an exception to the rule. This is a case of child abuse. So we're not just talking about extreme poverty. We're not talking about country living. We're not talking about all of those things. We're talking about a situation where when it was eyeballed, they're calling it child abuse. So I don't know. I wasn't there to, that's what the Attorney General said. So you might want to go look at go back to the video where you see these people on the thumbnail. Maybe like a week ago, we talked about this, and the Attorney General called them. He said they appeared to be feral, and he stated that he'd seen livestock tended to and cared for better than the situation that was found in that house. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we're not just talking about, we're talking about a whole different situation according to the sheriff. And tomorrow when we do an update, we'll do like a complete update because we didn't go through the complete press conference. I watched the complete press conference, but I was a little bit annoyed at some of his references. But now that some of the attorneys are saying that they kind of were also taken aback, I know it wasn't just me. So we'll get into this tomorrow. So for those of you who hadn't really seen a lot of the coverage on this, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, this is a mess. This is another situation that kind of went under the radar because they are in a community. So to your point, this is there. This is that community where some of this does exist, and they were kind of off the radar. And had it not been for Gary Jr. running around showing his penis around town, allegedly, the police may not have ever came to the home and found that there was this situation where you had people, not just because they're nonverbal, but they said that the majority of these people that were discovered, these children, were nonverbal, no education going on, never been to school. They said some of them could not speak. The ones who they expected to even be able to tell you their names couldn't tell you their names. They can't write. Some of them couldn't walk. Like, we don't even know what was really going on. They said that this is some extreme child abuse. So I guess we will learn. His words, not for, they're absolutely not mine. We've never even seen these kids. Yeah. You'll have to, if you want to, go look up the Sider family and look up the initial press conference with the sheriff and the attorney general. The attorney general stated that he'd never seen anything like this before. He said that it looked like when you used to see the, I don't know if he said documentaries, but my brain went to those care commercials when you would see extreme poverty in Africa. That's exactly what he said. Okay. Which in my Africa had nothing to do with it, because this is a whole different set of he's talking about seeing the famine commercials, not extreme child abuse, because people living in famine in far off lands have nothing to do with good old fashioned American child abuse. Okay. The decisions that the Siders made to have 12 children in a back room is very different from a whole entire community having trade embargoes and all of those kind of things where they're not getting access to food and water, versus people who are making decisions and moving around the country to stay under the radar. Okay. Girl, it's a mess. Okay. All right, you guys, make sure to hit the thumbs up for me. Baby, it's a lot. I don't think so. What they used to call that, sterilization? And no, I don't think they do that. But yeah, Gary Jr. has some issues because he's running around town showing off his penis. Something is wrong with Gary Jr. Well, it's all whether the main the reference was extreme famine. He was talking about when you see the kids in extreme famine, but these kids were being rescued from extreme child abuse. How can you compare the two things? You see what I'm saying? Once upon a time, and I'm sure there still are places that are experiencing famine where they are cut off or due to political situations, geopolitics, you've got areas that people are hungry. That has nothing to do with what is happening with this family in Southern Ohio. So I took exception to the reference myself because I felt like these are two different situations that you're talking about, and Africa has nothing to do with it. So that was weird to me. But yeah, the press conference was a trip. Anyway, you guys make sure to hit the thumbs up for me and we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But yeah, this is another story. I feel like there's going to be a lot of conversations revolving around this. Just the press conference, I think this was today, where they basically gave him a recognizance bond because they didn't want to be on the hook for his medical care, even though he had a slip and fall at their facility. There's a lot going on here. Okay, you guys, take care. Have a wonderful evening. I'm going to wish y'all good night. Are you kidding me? It's already 1:00. I had no idea. Y'all, we went long, 2.5 hours. I feel like the last time I looked at my clock, yeah, I guess it was 10:30. Y'all, I kept y'all up really late. Okay, you guys have a good evening. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Okay, you guys. See you later.